All right. Listen.
No, it's no high liquor here.
Okay, Rabbi Say.
No, it's just joking.
All right, Rabbi Say. So we read in this week's parsha. Kulam huvu beisa Yosef. How you can, Baruch should help, That's all the brach to Baal Sanya. Kulam huvu beisa Yosef. Should always be. Ala mesibes, ala shpos. Kulam huvu beisa Yosef. And, right. Anyway, to explored a little bit the Indian of the machus of what Klal Yisrael got from Chanukah. All right, they reinaugurated the Beis Hamikdash, right? And from the Chanukah Sanesiim, that there was in the Mishkan, in the Midbar. What do we get from that? We don't get Tachanun, from the first 12 days of Nisan, right? And from the Chanukah of Shlomo Melech, which was an unbelievable party, 14 days, it was Deicha Yom Kippur. We get nothing from that. During this time that happened, we're just, tsittering from Yom Adin.
We still have to fast on Yom Kippur.
Right? Yeah, we got nothing from it. They didn't fast on Yom Kippur. Right? We got nothing from that. You think, right? And this, and this Chanukah that there was mitten the Kuf of Bayis Sheni, right? Which only lasted, the whole thing lasted only 200 years, the whole business, right? And for this, we have something with Dore Doris. Ma pito. Mainyan. Right? What's going on? Okay. There's a psikta that says that by Melechas HaMishkan in the Midbar, they finished the avodah already for the components by Chof Kislev. Right? It was all done. Right? Except that Kosh Baruch Hu wanted to be doiche the Akamas HaMishkan to Nisan Shebo Nolad Yitzchak. Interesting. I don't know how much we're going to be involved tonight. You want to be doiche the whole day, the Akamas HaMishkan, and Kosh Baruch Hu paid back. Right? The thing was paid back with the Chanukah Sachashmonaim. They have to pay back Chofei Kislev because all the components, the components were, it wasn't assembled, right? But all the separate components, the Dvarim B'Pirut, were already ready by Chofei Kislev, right? And so Baruch had that in mind, that, okay, there has to be a Chanukah, the Sof Commodores. Right? And there's also the famous Ramban, right? The Ramban in Parshas Ba'al Loischa, that touches up the Midrashim, that where HaKadosh Baruch Hu was Menachem Aaron, Shocha Gedola Miham Shata Madakum Meitvis Haneros. So it was that doesn't mean like Rashi says literally Hadlokas HaMenorah. It means Chanukah. Right? That because B'Ayidei Bnei Aaron the Chashmonaim, they're all Kohanim. Right? So now the Lashon Medrash over there, which the Ramban is going to be Miyashiv, right? So Lashon Medrash is very interesting. He says HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Aaron the Nesiim they just brought korbanos. That's all he brought. And korbanos rak bizman shebeis hamikdash kayim. But shocha gedol Hashem that leolam, right? Leolam el mur pnei menorah yeru shivas haneros. Yours is bigger than theirs because leolam mur pnei yeru shivas haneros. That's forever. Korbanos only bizman shebeis hamikdash kayim. Right? That's an amazing thing, So it's just to take the lashon of the Medrash Kipshuto, right? You think who adin nami, just like no one was Makayim Korbanos ever since Korban Abayis, who was Makayim the mitzvah of Arichas Ner Tamid, the Neros Hamaroch ever since Korban Abayis. So Kaidu, everyone knows the Shloah Kodesh, which is based on the nusach of Rashi Yoshan that the famous Shloah Kodesh, that when Yaakov went back, Vayivasa Yaakov Levado, he went back for Pachim Ketanim, right? So it's a remes for Nes Chanukah. That one is famous Shloah Kodesh, right? Makes no sense. If it was by remes for, he shouldn't be going back for Pachim, he should be going for Shemen. He should be looking for oil, right? Pachim, right? Jugs. He should be going for, Shemen, right? Right. Number one. Number two. Right, why pachim? Should be a pach.
Because it was not shemen. That's the.
He went for pachim ktani. He went for kalim. He wasn't going back looking for oil. He was looking for jugs, right?
Doesn't have to be all.
All right, you call yourself Munkatcher. All right, and one more kasha, which you might be stunned by. Hooray, yo, there was Yom Echad. So one day is not a nes. Why do you make Shasa Nisim all 8 days? I'm sure you'll be shocked by that kasha. Right? Shocked. Okay. Right? Okay. There's a time would be the 1001st. Right? Right? Right. Satan is like this. Right? State. We noiser kankanim nasa nesla shoshanim. Say the most sur, which is nusach kadmon. Right? And it's called b'kuli chazal nes pach hashemen, not nes hashemen, nes pach hashemen. And we noiser kankanim nasa nesla shoshanim. Right? Right? And state in chazal al tistako bakankan el mashe betocho. You have a chodesh that you can have you have a chodesh yoshan yeshbo, and you can have a yoshan shafil chodesh ein bo. Right, that the portion of the Mishnah are a little bit the Maral grapples with the question that Mishnah of us yala aladas that people will be like they are today. That for them it was yala aladas, right? Here's right that just because the guy looks from and has a from a sprach. Right, you'll listen to whatever he has to say. You have to listen to Tochanat Dvarim. What the Ma Bolash Mienu Al Tistako Bakankan Masha Betocho. Right, but Adavar Yavur, right, that the Alpi Masha Kosov, right, in the Gemara in Eruvin Daf Yud Gimel, that there was a Talmud Echad B'Yavne Sheyochol L'Tayr Es Hasheretz B'Kuf Nun Tamim. Right. You had kuf nun tam kan, right? To be metaris hasheretz. What's trying that number? You had kuf nun tam metaris hasheretz. Before the Gemara talks about the other tarumer sumchus. So it's going to be gedarsh memches panim tar, memches tarim parim, which we'll talk about also. But metaris hasheretz bekuf nun kan, right? Kan, right? And if you take the gematria of pachim, he went back for pachim, it's gematria kan. Kufnun, 150.
Pachim plurals.
Pachim's like kufnun. He went back for pachim ktanim. Kan. When we know sir kankanim, nasa nesla shoshanim. Right? And to devour all this, we mocked them a little bit, right? That the I talk about Neros Chanukah. In halacha, what's the ner? Right? In halacha, Chazal talk about the ner, right? They talk about ner shocheres and ner right? The ner is the kli, right? The ner is the kli. Right, there's then chutz from them, there's the ner is the kli, and there's the psil and the shemen, right? But call it Talmuda. When you talk about the ner, you talk about the kli, right? And that's also the menorah metzem binyana, metzem how it was constructed had neros. Right, it's the kalim, and you put into them, in addition, right, the shemen and the psila, the davar niflamot, right. So talk about that. There's the kli, right, of the ner, and then there's the or. Now it's all beside or and kalim, right. That the things that we've been learning about, for quite a while, right, in Kisvei Ari. Right? That there's the or and then there's the kalim. Right? There's a kli that holds the or. Right? Now the kli itself doesn't have any or. Right? The kli just holds the or. Right? So now the kalim themselves are choshech. Right? So as it says in Medrash Rabbah and Bereshis, tov avov choshech, choshech zu yavan. Right? So either what Yavan gave us, right? They gave us tremendous kalim. Right? Kalim. Right, they gave us tremendous, everything that they produced, right, is just kalim, right?
We're organized.
Right, organized, but right, fine. So and that's the point, and that they didn't chop. Logic, right? Higayon, logic is just a kli, right? Right, we need logic to describe reality, right? If we talk about reality itself as being the or, that which we see with our eyes. Right, and we want to describe it. We want to have a hezber in it, right? Logic is just a kli. Logic is not the emes itself. Right? Logic is a way to describe, right, the world around us, right? And that's the mistake that the Yevonim missed, right? That they thought that logic is synonymous with reality, and that's what the Rambam talks about. You know, when he talks about where Aristotle went wrong with Kadmus Sa'olam, etc., he says he's partzut ha Yevonim klap Hashem, he partzus chamurahi. He writes about that they broke in, which is the same lashon of the most, or upartzu chomos migdalai, and we know from the Mishnah in Midas, right, that the Yevonim made Yud Gimel Pirtzis, right, in the Sorag that surrounded Harabais, and connected that when they repaired that, you had to bend, anyone who came, where there used to be a Pirza, had to bow. He had to be mishtachave. Right? He had to bow, klape that Pirza, right, representing the idea like this, right? Logic is a kli, right? And the Rambam works with Aristotle's categories, right? But logic is just a vehicle, right? Just a kli to try to describe reality. Now, it could be reality is bigger than the kli, right? It could be that reality is bigger than than how the kalim of logic to contain, right? And that's the issues that we confront in quantum physics, right? There are things that we see that are hard to explain logically. So Aristotle, the other guy, the Yid, Einstein, Yimach Shemo v'Zichro, right? Now he was an apikoris. His apikoris, and people who just don't know nish Torah and nish physics, nish Torah, not Torah and not Mada, they're the ones who say God doesn't play dice with the universe, right? Right? They don't understand what Aristotle, the other guy, right? Einstein meant when he said that. He was saying apikorsus gemura, right? He was saying apikorsus gemura.
What was he saying?
No, he was saying like this, that first of all, he didn't believe in God as we know him. First of all, that's buchach, right? And he said everything has to be logical. Quantum physics he didn't understand, right? Right? Quantum physics didn't fit with all with all his ideas of general relativity, right? And Niels Bohr supposedly was said back to him when he said that, don't tell God how to run his world, right?
Who's that? Who's Niels
Niels Bohr, quantum physicist. Was he Jewish? I know he was a Maimon. He was Jewish. What? All right. Not.
Bohr was Jewish?
I don't know. At least he's saying at least half.
Oh, yeah, but no, he was a Maimon, and they say he davened. He was a mispala, right? Right.
Interesting. Says they wrote a letter. They published Einstein's letter. He didn't believe it.
Yeah, he's horrible. You should know. Whatever. Yeah, well, Machiavelli created the atomic bomb, right? To kill a bunch of guys with eyes that don't have eyes like us.
It's alleged that he said to
What's
Tights.
module? What?
Tights met him one time. He says his only regret in the world was that he didn't learn Torah.
Really?
That's what Tights repeated. You want to believe that?
Right.
Yeah, Bohr's mother was a Jew.
Oof, wow. I didn't know that. The first time. Oof. Right. Right.
Right. The model of the atom.
Right. Well, yeah. So but also quantum physics. It's one of the avi avos of.
It's the Bohr's model of the atom in 1915.
Right. Good, sir.
Planetary model was the negative.
The
charge over a small planet.
We believe you.
right. The
Sounds smart.
so here's I'm saying that the Yevonim thought that their kalim that they invented, which included logic, right? That is synonymous with emes, right? And it's called ufortu chomos migdalai, break-in entry, trespassing, right? No, your kalim are good for whatever they're good for, right? And that's what it means that when they're metaken the pirtzas, right? So chazal metaken, they have to be mishtachave. Wherever you're omed mul the pirza, what's hishtachavoy that you bend over it, right? The line does not continue; it bends over on itself. You've reached the outer limits. Logic is a kli. Right? To try to get your head around reality, right? But if reality is bigger than logic, right? And that's why it keeps on changing. Midor lador lador, right? There's gravity. So Aristotle described gravity as everything moving to its natural place, right? And then there were cautious on that, right? So Newton explained it that that it's like bodies attract, right? And there were cautious on that also. So Einstein came and said that the bodies bend space and make grooves that things move around, right? And we're still really wondering what is gravity really, right? And the logic is just a kli to try to chap what reality is, but it's not synonymous with reality, right? And to try to think that synonymous with reality, that's called pirza. That's called trespassing. Right? You got to know, where the gvulas are of where the kli reaches and how big the kli is, to hold the ore of reality itself. Right? As it's called, v'choshech zu yavan, because they thought that they're kalim, and what they thought, is absolute truth, and they could figure out and calculate what God Himself can do or can't do. As the Rambam writes in Moreh Nevuchim, right? That was called his partzus, ha-philosophim klapei Hashem, his partzus chamurahi. Right? That's his lashon over there. Ufortzu chomos migdal. Same like the lashon Motzur. Right? They're breaking forth. They're breaking boundaries. Listen, you just have Caleb, right?
Narrative, wasn't it?
Right? Yeah, but that's the way it's translated. So it's translated, right? Right? Right, as I said, they didn't understand their limitations. Choshech zu yavan, right? Because if or is reality, because that's where reality started, right? Okay, mihi or, right? Tchilas hametzius is from brias or. Choshech zu yavan. Right, they thought that the kalim that they came up with, right, could define and and say what has to be. Nothing has to be. Right. So that's a different nifla mode. That's his bar mode in the Chassidus of Chabad, in the Kisvei Chabad. That also in Torah you have to realize that the Gemara says something like like let's say that you have to pay. The Torah says you have to pay for what your shore does, right? Or any behemoth that you own, right? All right, so we come and we say hezberim. Right? We took clear. Is it mamna mazik, or it's because you weren't shomer? Right? Famous overused and abused chakira of Baba Kama. Right? Right? See, the hezber is just a kli that I'm trying to get this idea, right? That the Torah's machayiv me, in this case, shore, into my seichel. So it's a kli to get an achiza on the idea, right? And that kli could subdivide into possibilities. I'm talking about one idea. Right, that that I have to pay for what my mammon does, right? It subdivides into possibilities, but it subdivides into possibilities beside the ability to understand it, right? So the subdivision is in kalim. It's not in the or. It's not in the etzem hadover. Right? The Torah, it's one pasuk in the Torah, right? V'lo yishmernu ba'alav. It's one pasuk, right? And the havana, right, of how to get into kalim sichliim, right? That's what subdivides, right? Right? The possibilities, but the multiplicity of possibilities is mitzad the havana of how I connect to the idea. But everyone's talking about the same one idea, right? And this is what it means. Elu ve'elu diro kimchayim, right? So I asked Moshe, what does that mean? That Chazal say, even though halom mitarim, right? Elu ve'elu diro kimchayim. They say like this. He gave me a mashal from simple algebra. X squared is equal to 4. What's x? What? 2? Only 2? Minus 2 also. Because minus 2 times minus 2 is also equal to 4. He says, the MS, he said, is like an equation, right? Right? The possibilities that solve the equation, could be diametrically opposed, like 2 and minus 2. Right? But reality is bigger than the seichel, right? But the seichel, the Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, they each one tuned in to a particular possibility. As a davar nifla mode, right? If you would be able to see the or, which we can't, right? If you see the or without a kli, you'd see x squared equals to 4, right? And now you put that idea in kalim, so the kli of Beis Hillel sees 2. The kli of Beis Shammai sees -2. Right? That the kalim, putting out in kalim, bring out the pratim from the klal. Right? That the pratim, the thing itself is the thing itself. Right? The thing itself is, both klal and prat. The thing itself. the davar ba'atzmo, right? Right, but when putting the idea, the havana in kalim, right? So each one, kashem shem partzufim shavim kach ein del sem shavim. So if they're machavin elemis each one, but since they're shoyne, each one will be machavin to a different nekuda, right? A different prat that's nichlal in the klal of reality itself. That's what it means elu ve'el diro kimchayim. Because you have to look at reality as x squared is equal to 4. So Beis Hillel, their kalim, they were makabel into their kalim when they put in this idea, right? For him, it emerged in their kalim sichlim as 2. Right? And Beis Shammai, in their kalim sichlim, it came out as negative 2. And they're both equally true. Elu ve'el diro kimchayim. Right? Right? But it comes out like this, right? In the or doesn't know chilukim. The or is just one thing. X squared is equal to 4. Right? In the kalim of how it goes in, that's when it breaks out into pratim. So there's davar niflamod that aside from the kalim, right? That shot is that you get it, you apprehend the idea, but the kalim help, right, to bring out the pratim that are nichlal in the klal, right? And that's what it means. Bo nachzik tova lavosenu shel mole chotu anu kamisha lo bonu la'olam. Gemara in Avodah Zarah daf hey. Right? Right? Be very grateful that our forefathers sinned. Right? That imole chotu anu kamisha lo bonu la'olam. Right? We have never been born. Right? The pshat is like this. Right? That when Adam Rishon sinned, it's all true. Right? When Adam Rishon sinned, right? So prior to his sin. So they've the Sefer Torah Shemir Matzu Kosuv Kosnos Or with an aleph, right? Vestments of light, right? In our Sefer Torah it says Kosnos Or with an ayin. So it says Isaac Chover explains, right, that explains the transition that happened from Chet Adam Rishon. Used to be Kosnos Or with an aleph, which means light, and light doesn't know white light doesn't know any divisions, right? Everything's nichlal in the white light, right? Then we went from or with an aleph to or with an ayin, right? Went from light to skin, right? And from that, as the Ramchal explains in Derech Hashem, right? From that came the shivim umois. We went from aleph, mikam chayso goy echad ba'aretz, aleph, right? To shivim umos, ayin umos, right? Right? When we went from light to skin, right? We went to from or to but the skin is a kli, right? So now yatziv gvulois amim lemispar b'nei Yisrael. How many people are sitting in the big Sanhedrin Agdola? 70. Right, fine. Shim, but 70 is the base, right? So yatziv gvulos amim lemispar b'nei Yisrael, and in the Sanhedrin Agdola sits 70. It's called Bezin Shel Shivim. I mean, you need one that's the tiebreaker, right? Shivechot, right? Right? The pshat is like this, So when it was aleph, or with an aleph, light, and we went from or with an aleph to or with an ayin. So cosmically, in the big picture, seemingly we lost, right? Because we have all these goyim that weren't originally meant to be there by plan A, by plan aleph. Right, it was supposed to be Mikam Chayso Goy Echad Bars, the one nation that was always meant to be. Aber fort, because now there's Shivim Umais, right? But connected that there's all these kalim in us in Klal Yisrael, we have Shivim Ponim L'Torah, Shivim Ponim L'Torah, right? There's now multiple kalim, right? And that the Ramchal is Mavar in Das Tvoris. What's the meaning of Ponim? Right, panim is where or meets kli, right? Because if or is the neshama and the kli is the guf, that's the kli it's makabel neshama. Where do you see the synthesis between the two? In the face, says the Ramchal, right? Because I know what you're thinking and feeling by looking at your face. Happy face, sad face. He says that the panim, right, is where pnimius meets chitzonius. Yor Hashem Panav Lecha. Right, Karan or Panav. And he says more than that. He says that's the side that in all the Nevuas, right, the Nevi'im, Gadol Nevi'im Shemedamim Tzura Liyotzra, what do they see? They see faces. They don't stop see, they see faces. Right? Right, because that's where Chitzonius meets Pnimius. Right? Right, the face is the gateway.
Panav means inside.
right? Pnim means inside, but upon him, but it comes out through the face. The or upon him, right, is where the or shines through the kli, right? Or shines through the kli, right? Through the upon him, as I said, or upon him, saying that it doesn't belong to the body alone, because a guy who's dead, says the Ramchal, it's not the pshat that he's depressed. He's not depressed when he's dead, right? Most people are happier, when, right? Right. He's not depressed. The thing that's very disconcerting about looking at a dead face, that he has no face, right? The lu'umazos, the neshama, has no gilui without a guf. He says ponim is this synthesis, right? When the or is in the kli and the or shines through the kli gets an achiza, and you get and that's the shivim ponim l'Torah that comes out when we went from or with an aleph to or with an ayin. Amazing thing. He told us in the same shmooze, right, that art scroll is ruining the ponim of Torah, right? Okay, but ain't got mokum laharech. Teter latzmacha baruch ber mavir shiur mikazeh gemara. Lo yechol. Ruins the ponim of Torah, right? Nishkin ponim. That's what he said at the time. Anyway, kids, right. But you have to know, you have to make sure. Here's the thing: you have to make sure that that there's the balance, right? That the kli, right, is an achiza on the or, but not that the kli is goiver on the or, right? And that's what it means, right? To get into what it says in that Gemara, that there was a Talmud Echad b'Yavne shechol l'tayras asheretz b'kuf nun tamim, right? Kan, right? A kli, the nest, right? Kan, right? Kuf nun tamim, right? It could be mitaras asheretz. That's called when the kli is goiver on the or, right? That you could say a lot of hesberim, a lot of pilpulim, right? Right, and it's not shach to the emes, right? I mean, and this that Tosfos grapples with that. Matam becharufas chazu, right? This type of charifas, right? It's totally Tosfos doesn't understand, when we reach biyamenu, right? The academic world, right? And the world of the Yevonim, where the koch to say hesberim, which is the hesberim is sacha kol a kli, right? To be makabel the or in kelim sichlim, but when the kli is bigger than the or, Rahman, so he starts saying papulim, and it's totally divorced from reality, right?
And they say one answer to 150 kashas instead of 150 to one kasha.
What?
Better to say, you never heard that?
One
What is it?
parents.
The price
We talked about.
What it
one
says?
teretz to 150 kashas, not 150 to one kasha.
Right. Gizer. No, we're going to come to that in a second. Right? Gizer. But it's very good, very good. Kufnun. No, kan. Right? There's one about when the kli is goiver on the or. Right? And that's what it means. This is the side of what it means. Al tistako bakan kan elamasha betocho. It's not the pshat that they're talking about, it's not because the guy looks the part, you're going to listen to everything he says. They didn't think that we'd degenerate to where we are biyamenu. They didn't think that. Right? It means that the guy, the kan, right, eret gor shein. He says unbelievable pilpulin, right? He says, but al masha betocho. The question is whether what he says, all the sharp ideas and the eloquence, whether it fits with reality. Masha betocho. Does it capture the or he's just saying his own ideas? The guy, the kan. He says a lot of tamim, right? Like the kufnun tamim letaris asheretz, right? But el masha betocho, right?
One more thing, they say that outside the kankan is the v'nake lo yanake.
Right.
You can go
That's
either
an
way.
ari.
So v'nake lo yanake, if you take the word v'nake and yanake and v'nake, and you take out the kan and the kan, you're left with yudke v'ovke. You take out the two kans, so you can be both either side, v'nake or lo yanake, but the inside of it is a very baruch Hu.
Right. There's a betocho, right? Excellent. That's an ari. Correct. Emes. Right? That's what it means. It could be mitaris asheretz bekufnun tamim. Just a kli without the or, just logic, but not trying to tap it. Reality, it could be mitaris asheretz. Right. Right, but so we have this. So we have this. Comes out. We have this duality. This balance that we have to make. right, between the kli and the or, right, that we have to like find a way, one way to put the or in kelim, because without that there's no reception and there's no havana, right? Right, and that's and mitzad that having more people in the world, right, is that we could put in that there's putting more kelim will be megala in these kelim more pratim that were nichlal in the klal, like escort is equal to 4. So Beishar is megala 2, and Beisol is megala, Beishar is a negative 2, and Beisol is megala 2, right, etc., etc. Right, and that's a good thing. But you can have a problem that there's the kli is goiver on the or, right, and then you start saying pulim shel sheker, right, and that's that's Indian, right? And Yovan that they develop kalim, which logic is a kli, right? But then the kli was goiver on the or, so choshech zu Yovan, right? They decided based on logic they could decide what HaKadosh can do, what he can't do. Type of nisim that he could do and he can't do. What?
They believed in God?
They believed in the unmoved mover, Sibor
Many
Rishoina.
gods. They believed in many gods.
No, many. There was a Sibor Rishoina. There was a.
By a cause.
There was a first real cause, but they felt they could shots up what he can do and what he can't
So,
do.
did they believe in
But that's a mistake.
an active God or just what?
No, they didn't.
Clock
They didn't.
making?
No, they didn't. Not a God that you could dive into, or that and diving would make a difference, right? Because we could figure out what's possible, what's not possible, and it
So
won't
were
be the
they
shtana.
essentially deists, or were they believe?
Essentially, deists, yes.
So I mean, they didn't believe in Ashkacha Pratis.
They did not believe in Hashgacha
Right. So
Pratis.
the clockmaker, the watch,
Not that,
whatever.
right? Clockmaker, and they didn't believe that HaKadosh knows what the details, right? Because they had logical proofs for everything. But logic is just a kli. The hesberim. With this we can understand, what exactly was the tension, between the school of the Ramchal, let's say, and the school of the Rashash or the Leshem, pro hesberim or against hesberim. And on the one hand, the hesberim, as this is actually written in the Yismach Moshe, I saw in his Chidushei Agoros. On the one hand, there's a tremendous tikkun to be makar of the inyonim of Chazal el Aseichel, because that puts the or in the kli, right? And that makes a union, makes a big tikkun, that the or is received. But he says, but on the other hand, there are those who are against hesberim because you're reducing. Right, because we talk about in Yonei Kabbalah, there's the pure or, there's or atzil, putting into hesberim makes it bria yitzira nasiya, says the Leshem. You're reducing, right, and this is the tension, right. On the one hand, to be mekarav l'seichel is a tremendous tikkun of bringing of putting together the or and the kli, right, and now there's a tremendous tikkun intellectually that when you put the or into kli, the details are revealed. Because the or alone is just the pure equation without the solution set, right? So putting the or in the kalim brings out the details, right? But that's all if when the balance is correct. If it goes over the top, right, and the kli is goiver over the or, you start talking shtusim. You start talking about things that are reality challenged, right? And it is the hesber that the most reality challenged person is a liberal professor, right? Right, that's Mafalpo, arguments of and the whole thing
Moral
is like
relativism.
what?
Moral relativism.
Right, it's when the kli is goiver on the or, right? So it's amazing. Sometimes a person, a ben adam pashut v'gas, right, understands the emes, like the redneck in the Midwest, right, understands, right, Trump supporter, right. Trump supporter, right?
That's true.
Understands the MS better than some, intellectual, one of these liberal, right? Because the pshat is like this: erhot nish kalim, right? The guy who have a low IQ doesn't have kalim, right? So he just says what he sees, right? Right? If he understands what he sees, that's the pure MS, right? That was big kalim. Probably that the kalim is goiver over the or. Right, and it's a kufnum ta'amim letar the kan, right, letar as hasheretz, right?
Was that my team?
Right.
So the linguist Noam Chomsky.
Right.
Like you said, you say that about a Jew?
You missed it.
Maximum about
Well,
a
I
Jew?
understand
about
Jew.
that.
I'm just,
Yeah. Is it?
Rabbi, I have a question. I've been thinking about it for a while. We're going to places, we're doing things now that, let's say, new planets, Mars, this, anything.
Right.
Are you gonna extend the halakha that we know here on Earth? If people start traveling there, going there, what happens in those places? What happens going forward?
Well, we have to decide it right now.
Huh?
We have to decide it right now.
Give him another meal.
Yeah.
Can't ask him what he's drinking. What he's smoking.
5 reviews.
No, I mean, have you thought about it? I mean, are Rebbeim thinking about, how the world is opening up, or is
Now, I mean, whatever, just stam. If you ask me, just an aside, the psak that Elon Ramon got from his Chabad rabbi was wrong.
yeah, what did he?
What was
It was the fact that he should keep Cape Canaveral Zmanim. Because he wants to be mispal, he wants to say Kiddush.
Oh,
and
yeah,
does-
yeah, does he Kaddish, Kiddush.
It's
when he
wrong.
uses In the rocket, yeah.
It was a shtussen.
What would you do? Just
Why?
No, he should be machmir like all Zmanim. Yeah. Maybe because that halacha, which written in Poskim, keep the last man of the place where you were, is because mistama, wherever you are now, because it was written, that psak was written when you traveled by land, you're probably, that's the last place you were, is mistama, where you are right now is closest to that. Right? Okay, but you go out to space. Hadish can shaykhs, right?
Moshe
Just
said
keep-
then there's no Zman. It's not Zman. There's no
What?
differences there.
Hmm?
Moshe said then.
Yeah?
But there's nothing there. There's no Zman over there. We came
The
back
guy
down.
should machmir like all Zmanim.
You're not part of the orbit.
Isn't it?
You're not part of the orbit of the Earth.
We came back down. It was Shabbos. That's
Some is
it.
Chanukah, the Yom Mehem Zman Azeh. So some is the Yom Mehem is the Malam Zman.
Yeah.
So the shit is the Zman Azeh. Came into the Zman.
Wow.
The Shidduch of Chanukah is came the Zman Azeh.
Right.
Because normally Nes is the Malam Zman.
Fine, that's the tension. Go put in, the tension that there is. Say Hezberim, don't say Hezberim. Hezberim is to put things into Kli. Right? Kalim Sichliim. Now, sometimes it's very good. The two sides of the Chakiris is very good. Sometimes, question is how many Stadim are emes? My brother did time, for lack of a better word, but Rav Soloveitchik in Chicago. Right? Right. So when I was a Bocher, I went to visit him. So I met one of the sons of Rav Soloveitchik, Rav Moshe Soloveitchik, Zozain Gazun. So he told me the following story, that one year, in the summer, Rabbi Soloveitchik from Boston went to this place called Onset, and Rav Moshe Soloveitchik went someplace else, and they decided that year they're going to learn the same thing. So every night at the end, during the summer, every night the Talmidim from both sides compared the notes, right? And so Rav Moshe Soloveitchik said 3 tzodim, to understand the sugya, and made it machlokas rishonim. Rav Yoshe Ber said 5 tzodim, right? 5 tzodim, right? So the people with Rav Moshe, with Rav Aaron, right? Told him, listen, the guys in Answer are having a lot more fun than we are. There's 5 tzodim. You only said 3 tzodim. So let me hear the other 2 tzodim. Says, my brother Zozain Gazun has a very fertile imagination, right? At one point, is it like the solution set of what's in the equation, right? At what point is it just Dimion? Right? That's the question.
Soloveitchik story you're going to tell us that one.
What? I'll tell you another story I heard from Sri over here. I'm here, Baal Shmuel, so person always says somebody if Baal Shmuel, Omed Lefanav. So he told me a story about one of the Gedolim, from a previous door, right? That, had his eyes on a particular woman, right? And he said to this woman, right, to impress her, ask me any question, right? Ask me any question, and I'll give you 12 answers on that question. Anything. I'll give you 12 answers. So she told him, if you could give me 12, who I didn't name, you could give me 24, and they're all sheker. Right? So right? And that's the question, the proper balance of kli and or, right? That kaidur, that or is besoda echos, right? And kli, right, is besoda kamus, right? Quantity. Now there's a proper balance where the kalim, aside from being makabel the or, bring out the protein, And there's where the kli is goiver on the or, as Bria is saying, posing possibilities. They're not even on the spectrum of of what's reasonable, right? And that's the unique balance that needs to be maintained, right? Right, that the kli should be kfiyah or, right? The kli should be kfiyah or, right? So now, what does it mean chinuch? Right, with this, we're drawing to a close. What does it mean chinuch? This verb is a strange verb. It has to do with education, right? It also has to do with Chanukah sabayis. Ma kesher. Well, what does one have to do with the other? Right? So Pshat says this Vasemis in Likutim, and then the Piasetzer in Sakdoma to the Chomas HaTomim says a similar word. It says like this: you don't know what chinuch is. Chinuch is to balance, to put the or in the kli, right? So first of all, like Chanukah sabayis, right? The or of kedusha was put into the base mikdash or the mishkan. Then now it's kodesh, right? In the yochid, in the adam, right? The mechanech, as opposed to the melamed, he says, right? The mechanech has the art of putting the or of Torah into the kelim sichliim of the Talmud, and that's the soid chanoch lanar al pi darko gam ki yazkin lo yosar mimena. If you do chinuch, you integrate the or Torah with the kelim of the Talmud, his moyach and his leiv, right? If you do that, gam ki yazkin lo yosar mimena, he will stay from his whole life, right? Because it's been integrated, right? That's what chinuch is. You have to put the or in kelim. Right? That's what Chanukah is. So now take a look. Mamad Har Sinai, which was the greatest Gilui Elokus that there ever was. Right? There was never a greater divine revelation. And Lohaya V'Lohiyah. Right? Even Lost in Love, we don't see that there will ever be anything like Mamad Har Sinai. Right? Can you go up to the real Har Sinai, which is somewhere in Saudi Arabia? Can you go up Bismanazeh? Absolutely, no problem. You go there, B'Maklo, V'Tarmilo, and Arnaki, all things that are also to do, Klape Arabais. You go up, right? You go up to Har Sinai, right? The Mishkan, right? Wherever it was, Bisman that the Mishkan was made. So in that Makom, right, you had to be in Mizar. There was a bit of Mara Mikdash, but after they took down the Mishkan from that place, in that place where the Mishkan once stood, right, you could go and do whatever you want. Right, Harabayis, Haramuria, the base olamim, right? So now, not. Right? There's halacha afil bisman hazeh. Right? You have to anyone who lives in the old city has to be nizar. Right? Anyone who lives in the old city has to be nizar. It's a serious thing. Right? If you could see, Harabayis, you can't just do your calisthenics up there. Whatever you don't do in a shul, you can't do if you're in line of sight of the Makom HaMikdash. Manishtana. Right? Har Sinai, nothing, right? The Mishkan only bisman that it was built, right? But after they took it down, that place, and base of Mikdash, lo'ilam, the base olamim, now you have to be nizar on the Mara Mikdash adayom, what's the difference? Right.
There's all the luchas are buried there.
What?
The luchas are buried there.
Where?
Yeah, they
What,
burn
Makom
it.
Mikdash?
They burn it, yeah.
So basically,
So
Yeah.
Rambam
Now,
thinks
I'll tell-
that- the Rambam thinks that's the source of Kedusha. That's
Yeah.
so Rabbi, if we
Yeah,
eventually open up relations with Saudi Arabia, and we go to that place, that area, does it become holy again, or
No,
That's exactly the same.
nothing.
it doesn't?
No,
Nothing remains.
nothing.
That was a place that Hashem.
But it's only been
Makes no
temporary
difference.
nature.
The
We're
mountain
going to tell you
itself,
why.
no?
I'll tell you why. Because there's no kalim to be makabel that kedusha. There's no kalim to be makabel. The kedusha of Har Sinai, as much as with all the intensity, there was no kalim. There was no kalim. No kalim to hold it. So the or came and went. Even though the ors, I shouldn't say came and went, because anything Hashem does is not bottle. But there's no kalim to hold it.
Isn't the mountain?
So as far as we're concerned, there's no kedusha, even though kedusha is everywhere. Vata machayas kulam, because we have no kalim to absorb it.
So wouldn't the mountain be the Kalim, just like the wall?
No,
is
it
the
wasn't.
Kalim?
I'm telling you, the mountain wasn't kalim.
But the wall is the Kalim, right? At the
No,
western wall.
that's the chiddush of the Mishkan.
Kosel.
Zachanti b'socham is kalim. All right. Now, if you were saying, it's very good to Shitas Rambam, that argues on the Ramban, that Rambam holds that the chiv to build kalim of the Mishkan is nichlal in the mitzvah of, Vasuli Mikdash. And it's nichlal in the mitzvah of binyan habayis. Whereas the kalim hold the kedusha like the bayis holds the kedusha. Kalim.
You don't have Kalim Bisman Azeh, and yet you still have Kedusha Samak.
No, so you have kedusha makom because, as it were, that makom because it was chosen. So the makom itself is a kli for kedusha because it was chosen, consecrated.
But if we went to the mountain and
You could do it if you knew the makom is back. You could do avoda.
But if we went to the
And that's
mountain,
every year the Mizrachistim try to bring Korban Pesach.
And you could build the cave. That's right.
That's right. Now we could. No, see Hirsch Kalisher held we should just go and build the kelim and do it. Yes.
but if we went to the mountain that was Har Sinai,
Nothing. There's no problem to open a discotheque up there.
We could say this is where it happened. That would become the Caleb, right?
It wouldn't. It wasn't absorbed. It wasn't absorbed.
Straight up that you can go up. It doesn't
B'mshol chayovel hemiyalubar.
It says straight up that you can. That Hashem said. Once I'm
Oh,
done
sorry.
there,
No, but I quoted you.
Yeah, good, I heard it.
Right, but it's good you're leaving. They won't press you for details. Who it was and what,
But I think if we
who he was, who she was. Right.
we would have made it
We're almost done. We're almost done. Shy. We're almost done. Shy. We're almost done. Right? Kids, we're almost done. All right. Done. Right.
Okay.
Kan. We're almost done. Kan. Right? We're almost done. Right? Right. Right. Is that shot?
Do they know where it is
Where?
in Saudi Arabia?
I don't know if they know exactly where it is, but it's where they take you in Sinai. That's garbage. It's not true.
No, actually, I was in Saudi Arabia. That's what I'm trying to say. So when I was in Saudi,
No, he
I
served.
didn't understand,
He served. He served in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
Right.
No, I was
Desert Storm.
in 1990, 91. But that's my question. So when I went to Saudi and I didn't think I wasn't religious obviously at the time, but
Right.
to,
National Geographic has a piece on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Harsina?
I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just you're asking if there's a place on it. The argument's weak.
I'm just saying that anything that was in Saudi that I didn't think at that time that if I'm here, maybe
They found rocks with.
it's not like I'm on vacation. It's not like I was on vacation.
Where is that mountain?
Saudi Arabia.
It is Saudi Arabia, really?
They found what?
Rocks with the incorrect shape of a bush. All of these rocks.
There's one particular mountain that they have there?
Probably have a lot of them.
Well, I'm saying, there's no Kedusha there because there's never any Kalim to Makabal Kedusha. Right? And it says, in the Mishkan there was Kalim, but only Bisman the Mishkan was Omed. In the Beis Olamim, so the Makkah is because it was consecrated, so the Makkah itself is a Kli. That's why it's Isra of Hara, to Aliyah Lara Bais Betuma, I feel Bisman is that. Right? Right? So the amazing thing is, this is the point. Okay, that's the of Chanukah. Put the or in Kli. Put the or in Kli. Right? Which is tremendous. That it's first of all, it's our connection. It's our connection, right? But it also is a big cosmic tikkun. That's to bring out the details from the cloud. We have to make sure it's the proper balance. And on one hand, more is better, mitzad, to bring out more pratim, but it has to be within a spectrum of the pratim. And it should be over the gvul that you start talking non-shkai, right? Things that, lo hayu v'lo nivru, right? And that's the balance that needs to be maintained, right? Right? And that's the Torah Shabbal Peh. They are halom mitamim, tarim, right? But you have to make sure it's within shivim panim la Torah, not 71. 70 is not 71, right? So what happened over here in Chanukah Sabayis in the Chashmonayim, right? The Dover Nifla mode that the Nes Dafka happened in the Neros Hamarocha, right? Not in the Mizbeach, even though they needed help with the Mizbeach. Avnei Mizbeach Sheshiksum Anshe Yavan, etc. They needed help, with everything, to get everything going again. And the Nes happened Dafka in Neros Hamarocha. Besod Ner Hashem Nishmas Adam, right? That the Rebbe Shem was now giving us a Chanukah, which is Or and Kli, but that Kli will be us. Ner. So Ner Hashem Nishmas Adam, Kaidu from Sorim Ner is Rosh Tevis Nefesh Ruach. Those are the two aspects of neshama that inhabit the body, which will be a kli for the Ora neshama to sit on top of, and to be mayor the Ora of Torah besod v'nishma shakai tevine. Right? That what happened by this Chanukah was to give us kalim that will last us for the Golas. Last us for the Golas. It was to give us kalim, right? Because don't worry about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. His Torah is just like He's forever. His Torah is forever, and everything He ever did is la'olam, right? It's not bottle. The problem, what could be bottle is the kalim. The kalim could break. The kalim could die. Right? And what happened in this Chanukah, putting or in the kli, the nes was dafka happened in Nerus, that the besod is, I'm going to give you kalim that you take with you wherever you go. Besod ner Hashem nishmas adam. You're going to have kankanim. You're going to have kalim to hold the Or Torah wherever you go. That's why of all the kalim, that they asked this question, they needed a nes gabe everything and everything. No, the whole base was ruined, right? Avnei Mizbeach Sheshiksum Anshe Yovan, right? And they needed, but the nes was dafka beneros. Shars, I'm going to give you that kli. I'm going to give you. There will be an eternal chibur of the or to that particular kli. Besod ner Hashem nishon that you're going to take with you wherever you go, right? And that was presented all the way back in the midbar, right? That all the kalim of the mikdash of the mishkan were already ready by Chof Hei Kislev. What was Shabbos? And of course, we delayed it until Nisan. Right? Shad is like this. Ribosh want to say that in his man of where there's no kalim, right? That's the end of Golas. That the whole end of Churban Abayis, Churban Kalim, because the Mikdash is a kli to hold the Or Shechina. Right? You have his man of no kalim, right? You still have kalim, hidden kalim. Because all the kalim, the Mishkan were ready, but they were, in storage, waiting for Nisan. Right? And that's the matzavas in Golas, that we have kalim in a hidden way, that even though klape chutz, we have no kalim, right? We don't have our own country, we don't have our own memshala, we're not sovereign. Everything you call kalim, yecholes, right? We don't have, right? You have kalim beichobe, right? You have kalim, hidden kalim, right? Kalim that you carry inside of you. The Hester.
What's the pachim time by
Right? So that's the Indian. He went back for pachim ktanim. Right? You have to understand that the Indian of Chanukah, right? Of Chanukah, that there was b'mei Chashmaim, was that to give us a chibur, we should have kalim to hold the or, even as man of churban kalim. In time when klape chutz we don't have kalim. That's what it means that the Mishkan was batsam ready on Chof Hei Kislev, and they kept it in storage. That the kalim were behester. Right? Chanukah is that we have kalim with us even in the Gos, wherever we go. Klape chutz, we have kalim. We have kalim pnimim, right? Right, and that's right. Kalim pnimim, pachim, right? Kufnun, right? Pachim, right? We have kalim to hold Or Torah wherever we go, and even to branch out into different days, right? Right, Kufnun, right? Pachim, right? Okay, the Kufnun Tamim. We have, we can bring up into all, we have kalim to break up into all the different possibilities that we'll ever need. If it's enough to be Mataras Ashar, that's definitely enough to explain, the Amita Shel Torah. Right?
The pachim, the malach is the Rishma.
Right. Right. So that's the pshat. Umi noisar kankanim nasa nesla shoshaim. There's something left of the kankanim, and that's the pach that was munach b'chol samar shekoin gadol. The nes was that there was that pach, the kli. We still have kalim, right? There's a kli munach b'chol samar shekoin gadol that has the or of the Kodesh HaKadoshim that's besoid bina. That's besod bina, where there's no magazar, no one can reach. Because in the vav ktzavis, right? In the vav, we should have been magdim with this. What the Shlach Kodesh says, right? It says, masat giborim b'yad chalashim, b'am b'atim, tveim b'yad torim, u'shem b'yad tzigim, zeim b'yaskei sor sacha. So, for the Shlach, as I said, giborim b'yad chalashim, b'am b'yatim. Why should tzaddik be weaker than a Rasha? Why shouldn't Isaac B'Torah be weaker than Zaydim? What? What's the name? So he says, Akol Medubar, says a Shloh in his Pirush on the Siddur, right? It's all talking about the Partsufim. Giborim, Biyad Chaloshim, it's talking about Arech Anpin, right? Right? That Arech, we don't have a Tfisa, it's Chalash. We don't even have a Tfisa. The Rabbim, Biyad Ma'atim, right? So that's Abba, Chochma. that you have a little bit of tfisa. It's mat. We have a little bit of tfisa. It's rabim biad matim. That's rabim because the kalim, the hezberim, many hezberim. But the emes is mat. Klape all the multiplicity of hezberim. Rov the shurim that they say in yeshivas are sheker. Right, right. Mat, right. Mat is the emes, right? The chokhmah, right? Tmeim biad tahorim is ima, right? Right, because when we go into Kodesh Kodashim, right, on Yom Kippur, it's bina, right? So that's bina, that's ima, right? Rishoyim biat tzadikim is vav ktzavis, zer ampin, right? The centrality of the vav ktzavis of zer ampin is Yaakov and Yosef, right? Tzadik, Yosef and Tzadik, right? Right, v'zeidim biaros kesar secha is malchus. Right. Right. This, so it's talking about it was a multi-dimensional battle, connected all the Chamisha Partsufim, right, and that's a pshat in the Alanisim. But it's amazing thing that Rabim Biad Mat is beside Chachma. Right? The emes is Mat. It's very little, there's a few possibilities, but it's Mat, not Harbe. That's Rabim. Right? They in their Olam HaShekah with Kalim, being Magbir to Kalim ala or multiple possibilities. Many of the possibilities are sheker, right? That's Rabin Biad Ma'atim.
Says Eloveil is only B'Sham B'Sil.
That's right. There's another thing, Kedabronos, right? Correct. There's Chilukim that are Mukhrach, Chilukim that are possible, Chilukim that are Pashut. Possibilities are just Dimyan, right? Right. So what are we holding? What were we talking about right before this? Right, to the Pachim, right? So the pach that was murach b'chol samo shel kohen gadol, right? The jug, right? The jug that we have kalim. There's a kli that was mikoach bina. There's an aspect of how the kalim go back to bina even after shviras kalim. They go back b'mei ima, right? And they're reborn, right? That's the next pach Hashem murach b'chol samo shel kohen gadol. That's beside bina, right? Where he goes into Kodesh HaKadoshim on Yom Kippur. Right? And from that pach, right, Hidliku, that pach was the shorsh for another 7. It's that plus 7. And that's Besod. B'nei Bina, Yemei Shmaina, Kavu Shironon. Uminoser Kankanim. That there's a certain aspect of the Kalim, right, that even when they're all broken, right, and they're all Timu Kol Shmanim, right, that the Kalim are all in the Tameh, right, because you get confused with the arguments, the Esberim, that we say, Lefi Amita Shel Torah, get confused with the arguments of Apikorsos, right? And that's Shvira Sakalim, right? But it's an aspect of Kli that goes back to Bina, goes back to Me'ima, and that's the Son Karsh Krash, that's Munach, that was also Pach, that's Munach B'chol Sorsha, and they get reborn, like the Kalim go back B'me'ima, like we learned. And that's B'nei Bina, Yemei Shmona, Kavu Shiro or Nanim, right? The Kalim that get reborn, because they go back B'me'ima, right? You go back to the source, right? B'nei Bina, 7, it's 8, because, they're the Bina and the Shiva Bonim. B'nei Bina, right? It goes back. The Kalim come back to life. The Kalim go back to Ima, B'mei Ima, B'nei, they're reborn. B'nei Bina, Yemei Shmona, Kavo Shiro Nanim. That's in the Chag of Chanukah is that the Rebbe in the Chanukah gave us Kalim to hold the oar that will accompany us in Golos. Right? And that's the Davar Nifla, right? Because all the Kalim that we had, even Mikdash Shlomo, the Bayis Rishon, was only the Shaito. So that tremendous Chanukah that there was for 14 days, and they didn't even eat on Yom Kippur, there's nothing left of that, right? Because there was only Kalim Shaito. This was the Chanukah of a Chanukah Hashmonaim. That's what it means. That Shocha, Shocha Gedom Shem, Shata Malikum Meitiv is Haneros, that's Le'olam, El Mupanero, Yevishas Haneros, there's eternal Kalim. Kalim that we took with us Ghosts. The Kalim beside Ner Hashem, Nishmas Adam. Certain Kalim that we took with us, even though we don't have a Beis HaMikdash, certain Kalim for Kedusha, that we took with us even in Ghosts. And it was all mushrosh, the fact that all the Kalim were already ready on Chafei Kislev in the Midbar, but they delayed Hakomas HaMishkan. Right? The Kli that you take with you, that it should be an Achiza and Orator wherever you go, right? That's the Iker. That's where you went back for Pachim Ktanim. Uminosa kankanim, when all the kankanim broke, there's that one nakuda that goes back to me'ei ima, goes back into the womb of Ima to be reborn, right? And that's what it means. Vayivasar Yaakov levado, right? So it says Adod Chsiv v'nizgav Hashem levado bayomahu, right? Right? That nakuda of emes, right? That nakuda of emes, right? That the kli was meant to hold the or of Torah. That nakuda is eternal, so you could whittle it down to that, and from that one kli, all the other kalim are regenerated. All the other 7 kalim, right? That one, that mitzad it's chibur to ima, to Or Torah. All the other 7 kalim are regenerated. So it's it plus the other 7, right? So
at that moment, it goes back to
pachim, for the sake of pachim, for all the 7, all the bnei bina.
Why at that moment
So-
before with Asa? Why is that the place we have to?
No, because that's the achana for Golus. They were going to go because they knew 200 years later we're going to go into Golus Edom. It was 200 years is like a joke in the life of a nation. They knew 200 years later we're going to go into Golus Edom and we're going to need kalim for all the duras, right? So he went back for pachim tanim.
The Gidenashi was Dor Shmat.
Dor Shmat.
Yeah, it's Dor Shmat.
He knew. It's going back. They would say that's the last until Bayomo Yashem Achodesh Moachad for all the pachim, all the kem that we need, and that pach shemen, right, was enough, right? That was the besoid bina, that all the banim were nolad from it, right? And with this we're going to say another yishuv for the Beis Yosef's kasha, right? But the nace was that one pach held more shemen, enough shemen, right? The nace was nace pach hashemen. Like besod ha'oron eno min amida, just like in Kodesh HaKadoshim, you can't explain how the oron fit in. Ha'oron eno min amida, right? Right? This pach, right? This pach, at the Kedusha of Kodesh HaKadoshim, there's no way to explain how it held so much oil.
It didn't break.
Right, it held and didn't break. It held enough oil. It held within it enough oil, right, to be madlik for all Shmona Sayamim. L'chaim, l'chaim.
Any wood.